Yo, what up, guys? Hold on, I got these cameras are all wrong. Sorry. One sec. I don't even know that Alex has his camera. I don't know that he's back yet, so. Is my camera just in a weird angle here? Yo, what up, Izo? What up? Alex went to go grab something real quick. He's going to be right back, and then we'll get into it. We're going to be covering the state of the game today, and then we're also going to be using a sealed simulator to do some sealed pools and just talk about those and go over that stuff. So if that sounds cool to everybody, that's what today's stream is going to be about. Sub Halo God, sub Troy. Are we live on Twitch as well? Should be live on Twitch. Yep, looks like we're live on Twitch. Sweet. Covering Dave telling us that we're bad and we need to cook harder. True. He did basically say something like that. Yeah, we're just not, you know, somehow China hasn't figured it out, but we're supposed to. And it's fine that it's destroying over in China because we're going to be the ones in the West to like cover to figure it all out. We'll break the format. Draven's not even going to be a problem. You'll see. Yo, what up, Java? What up, JP Word Sign? We are live, Alex. Oh. Turn your camera on. Oh, well, it swapped our camera position. That's fine. This works. Nice. Yep. Cool. We're here, gang. Yeah, their chat was just saying how asking if we're gonna go over Dave telling us that we're gonna figure out the secret sauce and that everything's fine. And I said yes, basically. Can you see the state of the game thing?
Yeah, you don't have to stream it through Discord. I can just...
Yeah, I was already doing it, though, so it's fine. Well, when we get to the sealed portion, it'll be better for me that I'm streaming to you anyway, so.
Okay, sure.
It just keeps the windows where they need to be.
Oh, yeah, I can use this screen because I'm not the one streaming. Oh, boy.
Yep.
I've never done this before.
Yep. So, yeah, we're going to get into the state of the game. Just basically going to run it down pretty quick. Some of these questions in here, for those of you who are unaware, Riot did like a Q&A. They like were Instagram posting and stuff, and they were like, hey, send us your questions. So we don't know if some of these questions may have been cherry picked, obviously, because like some of these questions are things that they wanted to put out there for sure. But there was some stuff in here that, you know, I would assume did come from the community and that they felt compelled to answer. So some of these questions are like, we're probably just going to briefly touch on them, and others we'll probably dive into a little bit if we feel opinionated on them. Yeah, this is just like them talking about...
You get to pick and choose the questions. It's like when you're in an interview and you get to choose the questions you want to answer.
Right.
Not that there's much they could do about that. Like, it's not like they could have like a community forum, but...
Yeah, this initial part is just them basically saying like their goals for Riftbound, and they're trying to make a TCG that appeals to everyone, and blah blah blah. Not too much info there. They asked them which set they're excited for. They're asking Dave and Shengran. for Unleashed, they showed a few pictures here, which are like some spoilers for what we're going to be seeing in set 3 and 4. And so in set 3, we're gonna get something with the Baron Nashor. That's pretty hype. Baron is the big baddie of the jungle in League of Legends, and I'm not sure if this is gonna be like a unit card. Some people are speculating that this might be like a battlefield in the game itself of League. Like once you kill the Baron, you get a lot of gold, and you get like this crazy buff on all of your team that like gives you a bunch of different stat boosts. So I don't know how they would like translate that into this game. I mean, maybe like give you tokens that give you different keyword abilities and stuff like that. I'm not really sure. But yeah, could be a unit, could be a battlefield. Who knows? It's cool though. I'm hyped to have Baron in the game. Then they confirm for set 4, we're going to be getting the alternate color pairings. So as you guys know, right now there's 6 colors, and there's basically a color pair for each. That there's no like body mind champion, there's no calm fury champion, and there's no chaos order champions. In set 4, they are going to be breaking the wheel, so we're going to be able to have a legend for every single kind of color combination. We'll finally be able to make all these different decks. Of course, we'll have to see how that works. I know there was a Twitter post popping off today, because there is like someone was mentioning an infinite that's in yellow purple, where it was like there's this unit that says whenever a unit moves, you move me with it, and then if you have the equipment that makes a 1/1 token, and you have the Renata that makes the token come in ready, then you could just like keep making 1/1s. They become ready, they move, she moves with it, makes another 1/1, it comes in readied. Then you move the 1/1, she moves with it, it makes another 1/1. Yeah, the gear that makes a token, the eye or whatever.
The end result of it is you have infinite tokens in your base and infinite tokens on both battlefields. It is a 3-card combo. That will probably have to be addressed. It is only a 3-card combo, but if anything about this legend in this color combination makes this even a little bit more consistent, they will probably have to do something about that, because if your opponent ever taps out and you assemble, like, you just need, honestly, all you actually need to pop off on the board is you just need the pirate readied. And then if you have the weapon and the Renata, those two things don't need to be ready. They just need to be played in the same turn, which is 5 resources, right?
Yep.
Renata's 4. So
Yep.
it's 5 resources. And if your opponent is tapped out, the game instantly ends.
Yeah, you literally get to make a billion tokens on every side, and
yes. Yes, you will literally be like, I will make 1 billion tokens on each side and 2 trillion in my base. And there are a few outs. Cannon Barrage will wipe one side. The knife combo will wipe one side, but it doesn't matter, because you will send 8 billion more from your back row back into the bases again the next turn. And then if they clear it again, you will send 8 billion more out into the wild once again. So
they're saying you're a little low. Let me see if I can mess with your volume here.
Yeah, I am really quiet. I can hear it.
Okay, I just boosted you up, so.
Okay, I think that should be better now. But yes, pretty much the TLDR of what I just said is this infinite combo is very easy to assemble, and if your opponent ever taps out while you have the 4-cost purple unit on the board and you have the other 2 pieces in hand, they die. That is it. Like, they are just infinite dudes. There are few outs. These outs are not reasonable. This is probably something that if it is even remotely consistent and the rest of your deck does not revolve around this combo, like, if your deck can do something without this combo, and this combo is just like, oh, I have it, I win, but my deck can win without this, they will hurt this combo in some way.
Right.
They still can't hear me.
Sorry, give me a sec. Let me mess with this. I had this compressor thing on, and then it was fixing everything, but it was making me too loud, so. Yeah, it's definitely an OBS chat, but like, hold on. Oh, I think I found it. There it is. Okay. Try now.
Hello.
Is that better? I
Can you hear
guess.
me? I'm going to guess
Hopefully
it's better.
better.
So I'm not explaining the combo again. Just know that it's the crazy combo.
Yeah,
And
the combo
yeah.
is an infinite between those three cards. It's on Twitter. I guess someone could maybe we can have someone drop it in the chat, the tweet. But yeah,
It's fine.
Alex makes up for volume with the hand gestures. True.
Yes, you understand the general sentiment of my emotions based on how I'm making my hand gestures. So
Yeah, I do agree, Chad. I think purple yellow is definitely going to be kind of crazy. Um,
they're
I'm
saying
not.
go louder.
If I can go more, I don't really know. I mean, I did the thing, so.
When your girl says she wants more and there's none left.
I can try to put the gain up a bit. Hello, hello.
It's not you, it's me.
Yeah, I think that's about as good as I'm going to get a chat. Hopefully, I don't know if there's a way for Alex to raise his volume or maybe get closer to his mic, but yeah.
You need me to raise my volume?
Yes.
Said no one's literally ever.
Okay.
Like, I don't know what you need me. I can't possibly get any louder than I'm speaking right now.
Okay. Is it fine now, chat? Is it better?
Okay.
Okay. Hopefully it's better. Okay, much better now. Cool. Okay, and then we got a look at Radiance. So we had, this is going to be set 5. We didn't really have any info on this yet. All we got was basically this, and it has Seraphine on it, and it has Echo. So yeah, probably getting an Echo Legend. We'll finally get to have Echo as a chosen champion. That might be pretty broken. We'll have to see. And then, yeah, Seraphine is a waifu. I'm sure the metal card farmers will be happy about that. The metal raiders. Yeah, the comparison between the two volumes. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, when I put him up like that, for some reason it makes me even louder. So then it's still going to be like one of us is really loud. Okay, so then they went into some questions that we'll go over. Are you concerned about the metagame for Riftbound being solved quickly? Dave said, TCG players are incredible. There's so many of you. You're very talented and motivated to find the craziest combination of cards. That means that often the picture we have of the game internally during development doesn't match what players in the wild find to be strong. I'm not concerned when players find some of the best decks quickly. That's expected, but I also hope that players continue to experiment and find interesting ways to attack the top decks. In general, for as long as players can tinker and evolve the decks week to week, I think that is a healthy metagame. Then he even mentioned, he said, I want to talk for a minute about the current apparent dominance of Draven. In Origins, we saw Kai'Sa and Yi on the top of the meta. Oh, excuse me. But players ended up evolving their decks such that the meta continued to develop. My current perspective is that there are unexplored ways for players to attack Draven, particular strategies that are more resilient to the purple win combat spells, and we believe that those strategies can evolve to beat Draven to be well positioned in the meta. Of course, time will tell. They will pay attention and will pay attention to results that come out of as Spiritforge sees play. So yeah, basically just saying, yeah, there's supposedly this dominance of Draven, but you know, Kai'Sa and Yi were fine, and the meta developed. Well, actually, Kai'Sa still just kept dominating everything, and while Yi may have like been a little bit blown up in China for sure, I mean, these decks were still insane. Like, it's not like those decks went away or that there was a whole bunch of new decks coming in on the scene. Like, yes, we had more Annie here for sure, and Aurora was more prevalent here, even though Aurora was still seeing play in China too. So the meta really didn't evolve all that much from China to over here. Like, we honed the decks a little bit, we refined them, but honestly nothing really changed. So I'm not really sure what this development that he felt like he saw in set 1 really was. But Alex, do you
Uh,
have any thoughts on that?
I mean, I my sentiment is like a little overwhelmingly negative because I think sometimes these game designers have. I think the way I described this when we were at dinner a few weeks ago at the Atlanta SCG is like I call it breaking the banning seal. It's like when you've been drinking, you know the term breaking the seal, where you take your first piss and then you just piss a bunch. Well, that's how I feel like it is with banning with card games. Is the first ban is always the hardest. It's the hardest pill for designers to swallow, and it's the hardest thing to admit that they're fucking up here. And while I agree that like the meta did change when it came here, it wasn't this bad. Like this is really, really bad. And I think the sentiment is much worse. I also think that players understand the game much better in set two than they did in set one. Uh like but like anything, games evolve over time, right? Like even if a lot of good card players come to the game, they don't just enter the game at a 10 out of 10 like Yugimoto level player. They come into the game like let's say a 7 out of 10 because they're Magic pros or Flesh and Blood pros or One Piece pros or whatever. So as the community, the general community gets better at the game, their understanding gets better too. So when you see something like an extremely dominant meta, you can, as the game has progressed more and the players get better, you can kind of take that for what it's worth more than earlier in a game's life cycle when a game is 6 months from release that people haven't really solved the game. A great example is like Sprite Mother. Sprite Mother is a card that was in literally every Kaisa deck, and as soon as release hit, that card was nowhere to be seen. So like people understand and learn the game over time better, and I think as they learn, you have to take the things that you're seeing a little more seriously. Like if this was happening 2 years into the game's life cycle, you'd probably be a lot less likely to be like, yeah, players need to adapt and get better because it's like these are good players. These are people who've been playing the game for 2 years. Like the community's evolved. They understand the theory behind the game a lot better. Um, so yeah, that's my incoherent ramble thought on this section.
Yeah, I mean, like Alex said, like people's fundamentals get better. So literally, even if you want to say like, oh, maybe China was really weak in set one, like they're even better in set two because they've just been playing the game longer, so they develop better fundamentals, and so they have a better understanding of the game, and they're still not finding anything crazy. And it's we in the West have already been shouting because we've played with the cards for months now, like we've had them in simulators and we all can't find too much more either. Like, yes, there is other decks out there that are decent, and there's decks that can potentially like compete with Draven, but you'll quickly find that even if you find a deck that might have a playable Draven game, then your deck probably instantly folds to Aurelia because what you need to do to beat Draven literally is like the complete opposite of what you need to do to beat Aurelia most times. And then most of the time, even if you do find a way to beat one of those and you lose to the other, like you just realize, well, Draven beats both of these. Like it still beats the deck that we can kind of beat it with. It can also beat Aurelia and it can beat other Dravens. So then why would I just not play Draven?
Mm.
Anyway, moving on. How will Riftbound cards handle banning cards when needed? Of course, we've talked about potential bans here on the channel multiple times. Dave said, of course, sometimes something in the meta is too overwhelmingly powerful or too oppressive. In general, our philosophy is that we want to intervene at a minimal level needed to correct an emergency state. Given that, how do we determine whether things are in an emergency state? We have 4 metrics we observe. Event attendance. I think this one's kind of silly, but we can go into that later. Negative player sentiment, game-breaking combos, and archetype dominance. And when one or more of those metrics becomes concerning, we have internal discussions about the potential ways to make changes. What are we considering? They're considering either banning or restricting. And 2 things we won't do as a way to fix things is issuing erratas or changing the rules.
I like that part, at least. I agree with no erratas, no changing the rules, as much as I would have liked the combat to be fixed because of Draven. I like the combat to be fixed because I thought that was more intuitive, not because I like it just happened to fix Draven too. Um, I I don't know if you want to cover any of these topics, but I do have something to say about number one. number one is something I do want to tackle on this issue.
Sure.
So event attendance. This is correct, but it's not correct yet. Games have something that I believe in called the honeymoon phase, where when a new game comes out, when as hype as this, it doesn't matter how fucking bad your meta is. The players just want to play your game no matter how miserable it is. When you have a game that's this big of an IP, this hype, they do not care. I promise you, every event will sell out. So right now, you cannot factor this number one. They are looking at they probably had 5 to 10,000 people try to sign up for these events, maybe more per event, like 5, 10,000 people. They are just looking at if they're looking at and going, no, meta's fine because all these people tried to sign up. There's a few flaws with that. One, people try to sign up way before metas develop. So, for example, everybody tried to sign up for this before the meta was super locked in. So this is not a great example. Right now, at least. 2, honeymoon phase. These events are not going anywhere. I remember Force Will in 2015. This is 2015. Keep in mind, so it was a very different landscape for card games. A literal tier 0 format, much, much worse than this. 8 out of 8 top 8 was all the same deck. I think in top 16, it was 15 out of 16 were all the same deck. Much, much, much worse than what we have now. It was the biggest Force of Will event to ever occur at 450 players, which, again, that doesn't seem like a lot to you guys, but in 2015, that was massive for a non-Big 3 game. And it didn't matter because the game was so hype at the time, people just didn't care that it was a tier 0 format. So I think this, in the beginning of a game, it's very easy to it's very easy to mistake this with success. The success of your format. This is more an indicator of the success of your game in the beginning or how hype your game might be, but not necessarily success of the format itself. So I think this early on in games should just be completely disregarded. I think this is a very, very poor metric. I think if events are not selling out, if your first event has infinite thousands of people trying to set up and your second events are not selling out, there is a much greater problem with your game than the meta, especially when you sold these events a month before the meta was truly recognized. So that's how I feel about this first one. These other 3 I mostly agree with. These are important. There's not really an asterisk next to them. They're pretty standard ways to look out for a ban. I do agree later in the game's life cycle, event attendance, yes, that is often affected by poor formats, so that is something to monitor, but right now, this is irrelevant.
Yeah, I do agree with something one of the chatters said where they were like, well, should they be tracking Nexus nights? I would be tracking my local scenes more than I would be tracking majors, for sure.
So this is a second part to that, though, with this data. This is where you need real comprehensive marketing data, because people don't go to Nexus nights for a lot of reasons. And the number 1 and 2 complaints I read on socials, and I'm pretty somewhat tuned in, I would say, with the Discords, with the socials, Twitter, etc. Number 1 complaint, I cannot get product. How do I get product? We literally had people in December who were commenting on our tournament winning posts going, you guys are playing tournaments, I can't get product. And while that's a little bit of a exaggeration, that's a little hyperbolic, I would say, it is true. This is the number 1 complaint. People can't get product. Number 2, people can't get into the events. Number 3 is the format's unhealthiness. So when you measure the Nexus nights, I think that's a great indicator of how healthy your game is, but you need to understand why people aren't attending those Nexus nights and not just make assumptions that it's the format or vice versa. Maybe it is the format and not the product, but you think it is the product. So you'd have to have some real in-depth marketing, some sort of survey that you sent out to players to actually kind of read the temperature.
Yep, I agree with that. What? Oh, cams?
Our cameras are because you moved something else over.
I went into Discord, but
our cams are now showing you scrolling up the Discord, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I was trying to fix the volume. Someone else was saying something about volume. I was trying to see if there was anything else I can do, but
okay.
Yeah, I'm really not sure. There's nothing else I can see.
So yeah, I think that I think that measuring locals is a great indicator because games always crumble bottom up, as we say. It's very rare that you see a game explode from the top up. And what that means is you don't see your regional level events hit 100 player go from 1,000 to 100 players, but your Nexus Knights are still flourishing, where you have 30 people going to locals. It's always the locals go first, then the mid level events, and then finally the high level events. Always bottom up with TCGs, not the other way around.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, Riftbound feels complex. What are you doing to simplify and streamline the game? Dave said, TCGs naturally add complexity over time as more and more content is added to the game. We are striving to make sure Riftbound cards themselves are as processable and understandable as we can to minimize additional complexity. We won't always hit the mark, but this is our ethos we strive for. The primary tool we are using to control this and make the game approachable for new players are reusing mechanics where it makes sense to. Doing this reduces the overall burden of having to learn new game vocabulary. New player-friendly champions. We're aiming to always have 1 to 3 champions in new sets that are more streamlined or straightforward decks. And then creating introductory level products, proving grounds, and similar products to help provide a good point of entry that's comfortable, and to some extent the pre-made champion decks and even sealed decks are a good way to ease new players in. There have been a number of errata for the first 2 sets of Riftbound. That's the nature of designing a new game. We're learning and improving how we approach the rules as we develop. We expect the quality of cards to receive errata to decrease going forward, but as always, our first goal is to make Riftbound the best game possible, and we'll always be looking at improving and updating the rules to make that happen. So yeah, I mean,
Thoughts?
For me, not too much really said here, honestly. Like, I like reusing mechanics is just a thing that's going to happen in game design. Like, you don't just throw your old mechanics away. Like, yes, I don't know that giving keyword abilities that we've already used to like champions in set 4 is really making the game all that much more simplified or streamlined. New player friendly champions is like, I would guess this would fall in like Rumble. Like, Rumble's a pretty easy champ to, it's straightforward. It's bad. It's really bad, but it's straightforward. Like, just regular old stat boost. And yeah, Proving Grounds products, I mean, these are for multiplayer anyway, so unless you're making like Proving Grounds level products that are supposed to ease people into 2v2, like maybe like a dual deck or something. Yeah, I just don't know that any of this necessarily addresses what makes Riftbound so complex. To me, it's mostly been in the rules that I feel like players have had the biggest issue comprehending the game.
I think so. This is something that bothers me a little bit about this statement, and most of this I agree with. This is fine. There have been a number of erratas for the first 2 sets of Riftbound. That's the nature of designing a new game. We're learning and improving how we approach the rules as we develop. Someone find me a game that in set 1 had 100 erratas. Find me one. In the last 10, 20 years, probably in the history of TCGs. There aren't any. And this is not me being negative on the game, but I do feel at times these devs do not take responsibility for errors. And I get it. That's the nature of PR, right? Like, you can't just be like, we're ass, like, we suck, please kill us. Like, we don't buy our game because we're so terrible at it. But like, I feel like there could have been a better, this is the nature of designing a new game. I feel like if this was me and all these erratas happen, I would be a little bit more, we realized there was I would have worded this better. Like, we recognized that we had a few too many erratas, like more than a game normally has in these first couple sets. That's our bad. We made a mistake. We're working to do better. This feels, and maybe it's just poorly worded. Maybe this is what they mean. Maybe they are trying to communicate this, but it feels to me like they're just kind of like, well, this is just this is what happens with new games. You have to errata a few things here and there. No, not like this. Find me a game that's had to errata like this.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's being downplayed a little bit. Like, I think
it is. I would just like to see a little bit more personal responsibility. When I hear things like, you guys just haven't figured out the secret sauce yet, that obviously rubs players the wrong way. Calling your players, this is like effectively calling your players idiots. Like, it just, and this feels kind of in line with me, where it's like, just take a little bit of personal responsibility, like, or just phrase it better. You don't need to phrase it like this. Like, there could just say, look, we recognize there was a lot. Like, I don't know. It irks me a little bit. It's not a huge deal, and it's not me trying to be overly negative. I just sometimes wish these game designers would take a little bit more accountability
Yeah.
for what I feels like was a little bit more than just the nature of designing a new game.
Right. Yes. So like you said, there is
Uh,
a ton of new games out there. There's infinite card games with like being made from NFTs and AI art and all kinds of nonsense right now, and like none of those games, even the most butthole of butthole games, have I heard of like this amount of erratas coming out of one set. And I do think that the intent behind like making these effects like very short and concise is a good. I think the intent was good. I just think that when you
I
make a
agree.
game as complex as this game, then you have to really make sure that those effects are readable. And yeah, if you wanted to make a more simple game, then a more simple line of text would have been in line with it. But they made a very hard, complex game, and so yeah, it doesn't work.
Yeah, and I do think that I mean, I've said this time and time again, and this is not going to, there won't be a long rant following this, but I just think it's plain and simple this game was rushed out. I think that's what it comes down to. And maybe that's not the game dev's fault necessarily. I don't know what goes on behind the scenes. Maybe they just had a timeline and they just said, you need to get everything working by this. And if you don't, we're just going to put out what you have. So can't fault them for that part, but I can fault them for taking responsibility for having all these wording. It's someone's fault somewhere. Someone has to take responsibility.
Right.
But yeah, that's all I have to say about that.
Moving on, what are you doing to make Riftbound more available and bring the price of boosters down? We're continuing to work with our partners at UVS and Shining Soul to get more cards in the hands of players. In January, we announced new news regarding Origins and Proving Ground reprints, but as we said, we know more will be needed. As we see how the community grows and evolves, we'll continue adjusting our print plans for the game. The team cares about players first and foremost. We are keenly aware of both meanings of investment when it comes to our players. We want Riftbound to be a worthy investment of both players' times and their money. Our vision of a healthy Riftbound landscape is when everyone who wants to play is able to play. I mean, yeah, like if they make more prints, that's should bring booster prices down. So that's pretty
Yep,
much in line with what you need to be doing. Nothing too much to add to that unless you have
they're
something,
doing.
Alex.
Yep, they're no. They, I mean, they can't tell us much when it comes to printing. They can't really tell us much more than we're trying to do better. Like they can't show us a video of the factory. Like, look,
Right.
the conveyor belt's moving faster on in this one. Like we turned the speed up. Like no,
Yeah, for
I get
sure.
it. They're saying they're doing better. They're adding another language. Fine by me. I have no complaints.
Yep. They mentioned they've added French. When are you adding my language? We're always excited to welcome more players. In addition to adding French, we are excited to share that Riftbound players will soon be able to get their cards in Chinese traditional later this year to better serve our traditional Chinese community. So there's going to be two different kinds of Chinese cards. Um, as we think more about language additions, the team is very deliberate about the process. Adding a language to Riftbound is more than just translating the cards. Adding language also means ensuring that we have distribution set up, access to stores, regional support, etc. I'm excited to see the work the teams have been doing to expand our distribution into more parts of the globe. So yeah, didn't really answer too much outside of we're getting a second Chinese type of print with a
I think
different
Magic
Chinese.
I think Magic had that,
They
right?
also have
Magic had
traditional
it, got rid of
Chinese.
it. No, I think they got rid of it a few years ago. I think they had uh like I think regular is like Mandarin and then there's like the traditional, but I think Magic when they got rid of like Russian, I think, and they got rid of Chinese traditional. Someone in the chat can correct me here if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Magic had this at one point too and either added it a few years ago or got rid of it. So that's all I know about that though.
Someone asked, when are we going to see more original art for Riftbound instead of just reusing art that is from other Riot games? Chengran said, with every new release, you'll be able to see more new art on Riftbound cards. We're already ramping up to add more new art to the game, and players will be seeing a larger proportion of original Riftbound art with every new set. The amazing art, which has already existed thanks to Legends of Runeterra and elsewhere from Riot, was fantastic for us to get this game started quickly, and we're excited to showcase many more brand new Riftbound first arts in the near future. Yeah, I mean, If you like new art, they're making new art. It's coming. I mean, set 2 was already a big upgrade in my opinion. I thought that there was some really cool arts in here, like especially the over numbers. I thought the over numbers in this set, in my opinion, look way more badass than the first set. Like even though there were some cool pieces of art in the first set, like I just really like that they're actually like making the over numbers match like with their color pairings and stuff. I thought that was cool, and that definitely feels like a Rift bound specific thing. So yeah, I thought that was cool. Um, I want to play more multiplayer Riftbound, but since release, everything's 1v1. What are your plans for it? We love that Riftbound works so well for multiplayer, both free for all and 2v2. One of the guiding principles of the original Riftbound system design is that it's very welcoming and fun to play with your friends and bring in those who might have never tried a TCG before. I don't know about that one, Chief, but this year we expect to begin supporting multiplayer more at local game stores and higher level events. Additionally, we're also looking into development of new multiplayer formats soon, another one, and even potential multiplayer friendly products.
Uh, do you want to go, or do you want me to?
You can go. You can go.
Get so ranting. This multiple format shit never fucking works in any game I've seen except Magic, because Magic took years to establish these formats. Like EDH didn't come out until like what, the early 2000s or something. Like this is Star Wars tried to do this with their format is called Twin Suns, and like nobody fucking plays that format. I mean, some people do, but like it's not even comparable. Like they have like all these like, yeah, I just think this like draft is a good one to have because you need a way to sell booster packs, but like you can't even do draft in this game when a booster pack costs $15, so that's not reasonable. Or limited, sealed, whatever. I think these extra formats like Eternal or like all these like not like Pauper and all these like they're fun. They're fun to let players do them, but I think and having some level of support behind them is great too. I love it when the companies officially support these formats, but putting effort into designing cards and taking the time to actually taking time out of resources, like allotting resources to these things, I think is mostly a waste of time. And I could be dead fucking wrong here. Feel free to tell me I'm crazy in the chat, but I have never encountered anyone, or not anyone, sorry. I have not encountered large groups of people on like social medias support like talking about playing the multiplayer format. And I understand it's a chicken and an egg situation. Do we support the multiplayer format because the players have told us they want it, or do we make the players want it by supporting it? So I just think they should try to get their single player 1v1 stuff going, make sure their product's stable, make sure people can get new events, make sure the game is balanced before they really start focusing and honing in on the multiplayer elements. It's nice that they're future proofing, designing cards like King's Edict or Party Favors or whatever, but I think that's as far as it should go for me personally. I think they need to work out the kinks with their 1v1 game first and then start looking at multiplayer.
Yeah, I agree. I also think that they do mention even here when they mention that there might be multiplayer at higher level events. They did a quick clarification of through side events, no main events. So like they are shipping 1v1 as the flagship product. Like anyone who thought otherwise, I've heard people. I don't really know where this rumor got started, but I've heard people saying like, "Oh, well, Riftbound was designed as a multiplayer game originally." I do not think that was the case. I think that was just a thing that they figured out a way to do both. But I do think that this game was intended to be a 1v1 game. Um, I've seen like 3v3 tournaments work for like One Piece, but again, you're not playing like an actual multiplayer format. That's just you have one player, and one player playing one player, one player, one player. Like yes, they're a team of three, but they're all playing their own separate 1v1 game. Um, and those events do really well. But 2v2, I mean, Houston was a disaster. Alex played in the 2v2. I didn't. I played the 1v1. But like they were literally figuring out 2v2 as it was like there were so many rulings coming up and no one had any idea. The judges had no idea. Riot themselves didn't have any idea. Like they've had to update the 2v2 rules like on site.
It wasn't balanced either. Let me tell you, like when they were designing these cards, Yi's hero power is fucking broken. Every single opponent I played against had fucking Yi in their queue, and we of course did not. So like, yeah, it just like there's no way they're gonna be able to balance the shit. It's at side events, whatever. I don't want to see them allot resources to it. That's how I feel about it. Like just put all your resources into fixing all the problems you have, then worry about multiplayer after. That's like they have like a 5v5 format, which is a 2v2, 2v2, 1v1. That shit ain't ever happening. Like that shit's like we talked about even doing a tournament for that at one point, which I think would be really cool. But I don't think Riot should be taking their time to do that at anything but a side event. So
Next question was,
yeah.
why won't you allow more people to register for Riftbound regional qualifiers? Dave, Dave says, as much as we would prefer to have these uncapped, it doesn't make a great event when it has to be 20 rounds or when there isn't sufficient judging staff to make sure everything goes smoothly. We're working with our partners at UVS about raising caps on event size in a sustainable way for high-level premier events as we scale our ability to manage events of that size, but it's also true that the cap isn't infinite. We're looking into how to manage this long term, including investigating third-party tournaments and their relationship to premier level play, how many would make sense, and how often to run large events.
So the reason I started laughing hysterically is because, and no insult to the people who ask these questions, because I understand most people don't understand how this works logistically. It is kind of when you do know how these things work logistically, the way the question is phrased sounds so stupid. Why won't you allow? Like, come on, just use your common sense a little bit and be like, do you think they don't want 20,000 people to enter this tournament? But then I laugh again because Dave kind of responds and goes, we don't want 20,000 people to enter this tournament, which, okay, like, one, I understand he's being hyperbolic when he says 20 rounds, but like, do you know how many people you need for a 20 round tournament, even including top cut? It's like over 10,000, I think.
Yeah.
So like, let's not be. This is like super hyperbolic.
Yes,
like,
there have been
like,
Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh events that hit like 3,000 or 4,000 players. Like it has been done before.
Right. Yeah. This is like again. This is where I do not like the answer. Like I very much dislike this answer. What I would have just said, I agree with part of it. There isn't sufficient judging staff to make sure everything goes smoothly.
Sure.
True. Great. That part of the answer I like. So that 20 rounds hyperbolic. You don't need to be hyperbolic. I get you're trying to be funny, but like these players probably don't understand that you don't literally mean 20 rounds, because if they're asking this question, they probably also don't understand where a 20 round cap starts.
Right.
So it's this one you can't fault them too hard on, because I know how these venue spaces work. I understand that a lot of them are still booked up from COVID, because of how much COVID messed everything up, even though we're like 5 years out now. And you events planners, you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but this is just something I've experienced in recent years, talking to a lot of the people who have planned these events, or larger events, not even TCG ones, just unrelated events. Not quite of a size of like 10,000 people, but just knowing what the venue constraints look like. The greatest part I like about this, though, is investing in third-party tournaments and the relationship to premier level play. If we could start having the PPGs and the Charlie's events start giving out invites or official promos, that would be incredible. Like, that would be the best thing they could do to alleviate all the stress on alleviate a lot of the stress on getting people in. So yeah, Pokemon, has 4,000 every event now. Those go off without a hitch, from my understanding. So like, the only excuse, they should just say venue logistics. They should just be out and open and just be like, we can't get the venue sizes. Like, don't answer this 20 rounds joke, or like sufficient judging staff. Sure, that makes sense to me. They're talking about, they said the cap is an infinite. Sure, they're talking about how to manage events of this size because their first 1,000-person event went so miserably bad. But these are separate issues. Like, not holding bigger events because you're saying you're too incompetent to hold the bigger events is crazy. Like, that's a crazy thing to say, in my opinion.
For sure.
It's honest, I guess, but it's like just kind of crazy to hear them say that. So, yeah, That's all I'll say about that.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely can do more rounds if they wanted to. They they could probably fit more people. I mean, we mentioned like how many empty chairs were there at Houston, Alex? Like how
Yeah.
many empty
If you were
tables?
at Houston, oh god, there was half the room was empty. And I get some of that was for side events, but man, I was looking at it and granted 250 or so people didn't show up, but trust me, there was more than enough tables for everybody there. Like it's and there's fire codes too. I understand that. I'm sure someone will hit me with that in the chat. Like, think about the fire codes, Alex. I'm like, yeah, every man for himself. I'm gonna push these motherfuckers down the stairs to get out. Like, sorry, bud. Like, I needed my 3,000 man event. I'm sorry. I didn't know it was going to catch on fire. Like, but on a real note, yeah, they did have way more space than what they actually had allotted. Uh, so yeah, I mean, I think like the staffing reason it is like legit, but like, come on, you guys should be able to get your shit together to where you can staff and run these events. And if UVS can't do the job for you or whoever you're hiring, Laughing Dragon, Cardio, whoever's causing the problems, you can find someone. You're a multi-billion dollar company. Get your shit together and find someone who can run the events. Because I can tell you, there are plenty of tournament organizers out there that can. At least, sorry, there are plenty of tournament organizers that can do a better job of what the Houston regional was. There's
For
not a lot
sure.
of tournament organizers, but they can all do better than that. I promise you. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it would be cool for sure if some of our third party tournament organizers either if our third party events start getting official support from Riot, whether that be invites or some kind of thing that feeds into larger events, that would be sweet. Or like Alex had mentioned, if they can start getting like some kind of prizing, that like official Riftbound prizing, that would also be sweet and would make those worth attending a lot more for players, which would be cool. Riftbound has competition with other TCGs. How do you plan to stand out as a competitive TCG? There's been a ton of new products and excitement in the TCG space in recent years. The team here feels excited as longtime players of the game. We set out from the beginning to be communicative and reactive about Riftbound and its launch, the way we hope players feel valued as they're part of the growth of the game as we work to get the basics right as the game launches. Riot's brand and ecosystem are something we feel helps us stand out compared to other TCGs, both from the players champions know and love, but also from the game mechanics and concepts that translate from digital to tabletop. As we've seen in our other games, whether it's esports, Val, TFT, there's been many learnings and interactions along the way, and we'll continue to adopt the best practices from our other games, iterate, and keep the boundaries on a great experience for our competitive players. Again, this just kind of reads very PR-y. Not really too much was said here, but yeah, I don't really think that. Basically, it mostly sounded like they're saying, well, the way we stand out is because we have a big IP, and that's pretty much
I
it.
mean,
Like, and that's
kind of the
valid. It's true.
truth. It's a truth. Like this is a bad I feel like this is like a bad question to put in your Q&A when you don't have a great answer. I mean, they get you're right. They gave some fluff answer, but I mean, it's like they could have just been upfront and just been like, our pricing will be better, but that's not what the casuals want to hear. So then they
Right.
just said, what do the casuals want to hear? We have a broken IP. Suck it.
Yeah.
Fine, whatever. I don't really have a problem with that.
Our
Like,
brand is huge. That's what makes us stand out.
yep,
I mean,
yep.
honestly though, like I feel like there was a little bit like their mechanics are different than other TCGs. Like this game does not play like too many TCGs, so I do feel like there's some standout there. But I guess they felt like the only thing worth mentioning was their branding and the champions that players know and love. So
I do feel like the person who's drafting these responses, there could be some better answers. Like I feel like right, just call me and I'll tell you. Like obviously I'm going to be overly critical, but take the parts you like when I read this and go. Like you call me up on the phone and I'm like, Dave, don't fucking say this, man. Like don't fucking put this into letters. Just like fucking this reads like ChatGPT gave this answer. And if you're going to have ChatGPT draft your answers, just don't put the question in there. You get to select the questions. Like, come on, how hard is it? Like, if you're gonna put them in there, give a good answer. Like,
one that one that was pretty interesting to read was you confirm best of cards would not be one ofs, but how many are you planning to give out? They said we believe best of prizing was an excellent element of Riftbound. We've been thrilled to see players agree. And then our current plan is for best of to rotate out of Riftbound tournaments after 3 sets. So Origins and Proving Grounds Legends will stop being best ofs at events following the release of Vendetta, which is set 4, despite them still being legal for play in the format. We felt it was important to ensure that there are multiple opportunities for players in every region to have a chance to take one of these prizes home, but we also want to ensure that they remain a limited and exciting prize. As always, we will be eagerly watching the community and the events to see if this decision bears reconsideration or changes in the future.
So,
did you have any thoughts there, Alex?
They didn't mention. Okay, sorry, brain was processing. Yes, so great addition. This is probably one of the better things in this announcement was that we talked about what would happen when there's so many of these prize cards in the wild, and every single event for 2 years before rotation, you can get these. I'm like that they've limited them so that some of these will remain and retain their value. Because for stuff like this, it's not about accessibility. It's about making sure that the players got them, retain some value. Because if you're giving out Ezreal from now until the end of time, he will eventually just be worthless. And that makes it less special to some of the players that want it. Some people will keep these cards forever because they're memorable to them in some way. But when these cards are worth $100, they feel a lot less memorable in some regard. When there's 1,000 of them and everybody has one, it's like getting a trophy that they handed out to 1,000 other people. It's like, well, now I don't feel so special. So yeah.
Yes, Kim. Basically, you have about a year to get each one.
You have about a year to get each one of them. I think that's a great choice. Helps them maintain the value, the exclusivity, blah blah blah.
Yeah, I thought that was a good announcement for sure. What are the designers working on? Well, a lot. The team has finished working on sets for this year and is currently working on sets that will be delivered in 2027 and later. We're also busy on some cool collectible products that aren't the main sets and working on improving our core and tournament rules, something that we look into with every set release, as well as potential new multiplayer and organized play formats. Cool.
Very cool, Kanye.
Do you have updates on the global release syncing between China and the US? Yes, we are planning on syncing when Set 4 launches. A lot of players have already guessed that we were spacing the Chinese sets out at a 4-month cadence while keeping the English sets at 3 months. This has allowed us to be in sync with the launch of Set 4. Future languages will be launched at an accelerated pace, such that they will also be caught up as soon as possible. So yeah, great. I mean, Set 4 will be
awesome.
Side by side. Everybody will be in the wild together. We'll all be deck brewing together. It'll be great.
We won't have to suffer through the 12-hour-long Chinese streams. We can just watch our own regionals.
Yes.
Hooray.
Are there more products like Proving Grounds coming? Yes, as we announced earlier, we've already kicked off the reprint process for Proving Grounds. More will be coming. And then additionally, the team has a few important takeaways for future products like Proving Grounds, which is intended to serve as a learn-to-play / introductory product. They did say one important example that fans will be excited to hear. We've learned our lesson and do not plan to include mechanically unique cards in future iterations of this product. Well,
wow.
So
good job.
there will be no $50 flashes or such cards like that in these future sets.
If only there had been some indicator or history that may have told us not to do that.
Who would have guessed?
Good thing it's 1993 and we've just released alpha to the public.
And then finally, what are the plans for officially supporting Riftbound digitally? Jingren said, definitely did not see this question coming, JK. We've been asked about this a lot and have discussed it a lot internally as well. After all, Riot's games have all been digital prior to Riftbound. It is a delicate topic as there are many benefits to having a digital experience, including easier onboarding, tutorials, more clarifications. However, we know that a key part of the TCG experience is the in-person social interaction, and we don't want that to be lost. We're always looking for ways to improve our players' experiences and won't rule out any options that can do that, including an official digital client for Riftbound. So Basically, no news at all, other than that they're
Uh,
not ruling it out.
I'm so I have a lot of thoughts on this, and I actually can't. I can only take a few guesses, but there's a lot of reasons why they could be stalling on the digital client. Runeterra exploded. It exploded after like 3 years, and that's really bad considering that Hearthstone's been going now for about 12, 13 years, I think, since alpha or beta. Uh, so yeah, that's embarrassing. And that's for a lot of reasons. I won't get into all of it here. You can dig up some video on YouTube that said, why did Riftbound or Runeterra fail? Um, could be a couple reasons. The social interactions. Flesh and Blood is very adamant that they don't have they have an online client, but they won't have an official one because they want you to be able to play the game in the Flesh and Blood. Um, I know some locals absolutely despise Arena because they feel it takes away, like Magic Arena, because they feel it takes away from their player base, which is true. There are a lot less people who probably attend locals now than they did 10 years ago. And I could be wrong about that, or let me rephrase, there would be a lot more people that attended locals if you removed MTG Arena. There's no doubt about that, which helps stores out. So stores could be complaining about that. There's a couple other reasons I'm not going to speculate on all of them why they're not doing this, but I can tell you they should absolutely have a digital client. It is absolutely absurd to not have something in 2026. Every single major card game has one, unofficial or official. And if you don't want to make it Riot, just let the fucking Pavel just fucking do it, or let someone do it. Let the Pixelborn guy do it. Let anyone do it, because it's not helping us. Like, your players who don't have locals to them, your players who work 60 hours a week and can't have 2 children and cannot go to locals and just want to play an hour a day, it is not helping them.
Yes.
Like, just allow someone to make a client. It will help your game in the long run. You will onboard more people. Stop cock-blocking everybody who tries to do anything to help improve your game.
Yes, especially with the product availability, like people could actually try your game more. Like,
yes, it's crazy to me that they're cease and desisting Pixelborn for having an automated client because they don't like automation. Like, fuck out of here. Nobody can buy your game anyways. Like, this is an issue I feel overly negative towards Riot about. Like, this is a terrible. Like, I understand if you're a store owner, you're probably like, well, it does hurt getting players in to play locals, but on the other side, if you have no product on your shelves and players are coming in going, well, I can't play because I have no product on my shelves, or the product costs too much. Yeah, this is a great way. Those are people that weren't playing in your local anyways because they couldn't afford to. So
right.
this is a crazy one to me, and it helps. It helps our business model too, because we can now stream games to you on a aesthetically pleasing UI, an automated client where I could be on here every single day streaming a different deck to you guys and helping promote this game to people who have maybe never played it or want to learn the game or want to get more into it. But that's one of the number one things we see with people coming into our Discord, or when I'm trying to sales pitch people to get in our Discord, is, can I play games there? And stay tuned, because we do, in the future, we're going to be starting a league of sorts in our Discord, one with a leaderboard with through Top Deck GG. It's going to be very cool. We'll have those details for you hopefully in the next week or two. But we are going to start integrating actual tournaments into our Discord for our members, because that has been a consistent complaint of how I need to just get more games. I want to be more competitive, but I'm flooring my locals every week. I need better competition. How do I do it? Well, if they had an online client, this would definitely help solve this issue. So
For sure.
I feel very passionate about this online client thing. So this is somewhere I am very negative towards Riot, because this is very easily in their control. Product shortage, fine. You can't get more product, I get it. Printers are stacked up, whatever. Events, fine. You can't get judge staff. You can't get a bigger venue. You don't want to host the fictional 20-round events, fine. I understand there are gaps there, but this is the crazy one to me. This one makes no sense. It could cost you no dollars to just flip the switch on and say, go crazy, guys. Anybody can make this for us. So I'm done there. That's the end. Yeah, a single dad with 13 kids fought. All right, get the fuck out of
here. So yeah, they did mention Pixelborn put out a new client for Riftbound today. That is true. I think that is the manual client, though. The first iteration of the manual client was really bad. I did not try the new one at all. I did give a little bit of feedback to Pavel on what we were looking for from these clients, but I know that he's also constrained by what Riot will let him do. So hopefully the new client is cool. I've got to download it and try it out soon, but I have no idea if it's any good or not. Anyway, okay, so that was it for the state of the game. We're going to move on to the 2026 roadmap, the thing that us as competitive players, we were really excited to see this one. Basically, they brought up this, let's see, I can zoom in a little bit or something. Can I zoom here? Okay. So yeah, this is our regional qualifier roadmap. We had Houston already. We've got Bologna and Las Vegas coming out. We've got Lille in April. We've got Atlanta the week after. We've got a Sydney, Australia one. We've got Vancouver, BC up in Canada in May. We've got Utrecht in June, Hartford in June, Barcelona over in Spain in August, Singapore in September, and Los Angeles at the end of September. So yeah, tons of regionals. This is hype news for competitive players for sure. I know like a lot of people came over from Lorcana and they were really upset that Lorcana is doing less events. I know that One Piece just shut down all of their online regionals, so they're running a lot less events, but Riftbound is coming out with a ton of events. I mean, so this is a pretty hype announcement for sure.
So, as a world traveler myself, one, you need food recommendations in any of these spots. I've been to about half of them, so I got you there. I've been to some places. I've seen some things. Very diverse. We had Houston, we've got Vegas, we've got Atlanta, we've got Hartford. So in the U.S., that's great. Los Angeles, we've got a very diverse. I would like to see some more Midwest events, something maybe in the Chicago area,
Sure.
like one of those. But okay, fine. You don't hit it out of the park geographically every time. This only goes up to September, so they still got the year to do more stuff. Europe, very diverse. We've got Spain, we've got France, we've got Italy. We don't have the UK yet, but I'm sure that's in the works. And it's my understanding the UK is a little inaccessible for the rest of Europe since Brexit and everything. So maybe that factored into that. And then we've got Singapore, which feels kind of random to me, but great. I mean, events in Asia, like it's right near China, so that's why it feels kind of weird to me. But sure, that's maybe they count that as a separate region. That's fine. I'm not quite sure how they break down their regional map. We've got Australia. Love to see that. One thing that's missing from here that kind of bums me out a little bit is we have no events in South America. And
Yep.
I don't know how active that the South America is in the game. I don't know how active they are or how distribution works down there. Maybe they're still looking, but I would have loved to see an event. As someone who's been to Chile twice, I would love to see an event in Chile, an event in Mexico. I've never been to Mexico. Be nice to go there. Probably not Venezuela. I would probably stay out of there for a while. But maybe even Brazil. Pokemon does a lot of events in Brazil. Yep. Plenty of places. Is Ecuador is that South America? I have the geography knowledge of like a fifth grader, so
yeah, terrible.
Maybe Ecuador. Is Panama? Is that in Asia? Maybe.
No, that's for sure.
I'm sorry.
That's South America.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, close enough. Panama. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, I think so Vancouver was the next thing I was going to bring up. I've never seen an event in Vancouver. I've never been to an event in BC before. I've never even seen that before. I know they exist, but I've never been to a BC before. It's always Toronto, Montreal. Yeah, and I love Montreal because it's a 4-hour drive from me. So I've never seen that before. That's crazy to me that they're doing that. But Anton, I guess that's nice for you.
Yeah, for me, I'm up in Washington area, chat. So like that's drivable for me. It's finally on the west side of the Canadian border, so it'll be good for me. But yeah, someone had mentioned. Oh, okay, Yogurt I think caught it. Yeah, there is Sydney, Australia. There is an Australia one.
Yeah, I said Australia, didn't I?
Yeah. Someone in the chat had said. Yeah, someone in the chat had said no Australia, but I think they missed it.
And guys, I live in New Hampshire, so Hartford is going to be crazy for me. That's like 2.5 hours for me. Bears Barbecue, that's going to be the spot. That's the best barbecue in all of New England. It's KC style for you Texans out there, so you can hate all you want, but the sauce is the boss.
All right, we gotta
Yeah,
try
that
it.
place is great. Yep, right across from the convention center. It's literally you can walk to it. It's fucking crazy. I vouch for that place. So yeah, Utrecht, Netherlands, gorgeous area. Love the Netherlands. You guys can visit all the coffee shops. There's plenty of stuff to do. The food there was like fine. That's the one thing I will say about Utrecht is the food is like not. It's not like England where it's like terrible, but it's like it's fine. Like LA, not a big fan like of like LA. Like I love the food in LA, but that's about it. Like there's a lot of issues I have with LA personally. Just it costs a lot for me to go there. It's kind of a pain in the ass to navigate. The traffic is awful, but the food is incredible. Like the
Yep,
food
food's
is
bomb for
food
sure.
is incredible there. So happy for that. Never been to Singapore, never been to Barcelona, but I did just get back from Bilbao, which was absolutely gorgeous. Pretty good food there too. Uh, British Columbia. I don't even know what's in Vancouver, so I'm not even going to pretend to. Sydney, Australia. I went to Melbourne. Awesome fucking city. I hope Sydney's just as good. Don't know anything about it. Atlanta, Georgia. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm not a fan of Atlanta. I think we've stayed in the hood twice. The last 2 times we've been there. Last 3 times I think. So it's my experience might be a little jaded. The restaurant service is fucking awful. We I mean, this is a whole story, but I won't get into it. But oh my God, me and Colin went to a restaurant one night. The first night we got in, the restaurant is dead. We get in there, it's a fancy ass restaurant, dead as fuck, maybe 5 tables out of like 30 tables set. We wait in there for 20 minutes and don't even get water. I'm trying to flag down a waiter. We can't get anyone. Next 2 days later, we go with George G, his girl, another one of our teammates, and we go to Ruth Chris's. 30 tables open, and they're like, "Sorry, we're booked up for the night." It's like 9 o'clock. We're like, "The fuck." And then this is where it gets crazier. We go across the street to Margaritaville. We sit down there. We sit for almost 30 minutes and nobody even comes to pour us water. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening in this city? And they're pretty busy, but even so, not even a waiter comes by. And I'm like, man, what in the fuck? So finally, we go across a bar across the street from there, and we finally get decent service. But man, the service in Atlanta is fucking ass. And I'll give it to them. It was a weekend where there were 80,000 plus people for the Peach Bowl in the city, but man, I had just such a bad fucking experience. So yeah, that's my rant about Atlanta. I'm sure maybe it's good every other weekend of the year, but my experiences have been negative. And then we saw a guy try to rob a liquor store, just like very.
I do agree, Squirt, that out of these cities, Vancouver might actually have the best food. Every time, literally everything I've eaten in Vancouver, like the 2 times I've been there, was broken. Like, so literally everything I've had up there was awesome.
Never
yeah.
been to France.
These are the on sale dates, by the way, guys.
Food. Oh yeah.
Yes, Vegas is great.
Yeah, food.
So just so you guys know, these are when the tickets are going live. We've got, unfortunately for us, I do think some of these were timed a little bad. Mostly the Atlanta one. I don't think that, like, the February 16th, like, I so happened to be flying out to Italy that day, so I'm a little worried about, like, am I going to be, have a good internet connection to actually get my ticket, or am I going to be screwed? But this one I feel like was the most egregious one, because this is on the Monday where, like, pretty much all of us who went over to the Italy event are all flying back on Monday, or even if we're flying back Sunday night, like, you're crossing into Monday. So, like, I feel like almost all of us are going to miss this ticket. We'll see how it goes, or maybe the tickets won't be as bad as last time. But yeah, I do think that this was rough for these 2 dates. Literally, like,
it's going to be a big X for me. I'm pressing X to doubt on that one. There is no shot. It won't be as bad. So yeah, unfortunately, I can go to all these except Sydney. I actually land in Japan 3 days before the Sydney one, and it pisses me off so much because it was just the weekend before I would fly into Australia, then fly to Japan, or if it was a week later, I would just fly from Japan to Australia. But I can't fucking believe it. It's on the one weekend I actually cannot go to it. It's so inconvenient. So, anyways, yep. So I think
Um,
that's
yeah, and then they're saying how do these integrate? French release timing. Then they gave us basically a little bit more of a detailed breakdown of things that are not just necessarily regionals. So in February, we're getting the pre-rift, we're getting the English release of Spirit Forged. The 17th of this month, for those of you who are keeping track, the Lunar Revel kit, which has that like Chinese New Year Aurelia, is going to be in dropping on the 17th. It looks like they're doing a drawing for this now, so you're going to have to like register to get into the lotto and hope that you can get one of these. So that's going to be probably pretty expensive. I mean, the thing's only like $40, but I would imagine that given that they're lottoing these out now, like those things are gonna go crazy. Of course, we have our two regionals at the end of the month. In March, we've got new summoner skirmishes. We've got the next set. Previews are going to start on the 16th of March. So middle of March, we'll start seeing the third set of Riftbound. Looks like we got stuff at PAX. DreamHack Birmingham will have some kind of Riftbound thing. At the end of March, we've got more summoner skirmishes and China's Spirit Forge major tournament, their late one. And then in April, we've got Unleashed Riot Store pre-orders will start coming out. They're also going to start doing their Unleashed pre-rift events in China. Unleashed is going to come out in China. Then we've got Unleashed coming out in May over here. And a few other things,
shit.
something at like
The NFL honors are
MomoCon.
right now.
And then, yeah, Vendetta, July 31st. This is the big one. This is when both English and Chinese release together. So, end of July, we will be fully synced up. That's the date, July 31st. And
So Philip asks in the Twitch chat, "Hey guys, love your content. It's helping me improve a lot. Do you stream some practice game often where I can take notes, or generally aim to do turn to turn?" Yes. So actually, I'll get into that after. Actually, but yes, we do some games. You can see it in our live streams, but I'll talk about that a little after Anton finishes
no,
that.
this is
I
pretty.
have to
This is
distract
pretty much done. I mean, but yeah, in October we have Set 5 coming out, and then it looks like they'll be at DreamHack in November and PAX Unplugged in December. But that was pretty much it. Just a roadmap of a bunch of events and important things that are happening with the set releases. And then Alex can get into whatever he wanted to get into.
Yeah, so this weekend we're going to be playing in the Top Deck GG event sponsored by, I think it's Nova Riftbound. I'm sorry, I'm sure he's watching and I'm going to screw up his name, but I think it's Nova Riftbound. I think he's the one running the tournament with Top Deck GG. It's a 1K. First place gets the GG Easy Teemo. I think it's going to be me streaming that. Don't quote me on that, but I believe I will be streaming that tournament. From my perspective, it's going to be on TCG Arena. So if provided I am streaming that, you're going to get to see me playing some Rek'Sai games pretty much all day. But we got more than that because it's going to be a crazy continuous stream. Anton's going to be up all night streaming the China stream. We're going to be joining him. We're going to have various members of our team, maybe even some new faces that we just added. And we're going to stream all day Saturday. So we're going to go Friday night till like 8 till pretty much like 9 in the morning. Anton's going to baton pass the stream over to whoever's running the tournament at 11. Then once the tournament's done, we're going to baton pass the stream back to Anton so he can start the China regional all over again. So we're going to have almost like 48 consecutive hours of streaming.
Yep. A lot of streaming.
Yeah, close to 4, like 24, 36 hours of consecutive streaming this weekend for you guys. So don't worry, you're going to get your fill. Will you have guides ready before Vegas? I'm looking for Lux or Victor. I think the two guides we're talking about right now are Fiora and Aurelia are our next two that we have in the queue. Victor's been discussed. I don't think there's any plans for a Lux one in the near future. But maybe a Victor. A Victor is possible. Are you not going to do a pre-Spirit Forged event? I don't think we all. I'm not personally. I don't know, Anton.
Yeah, no,
I don't think we
I
have
think
time to.
Wait, to have time to what?
I think a pre-Spirit Forged event, a pre-release.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I might do like what they start tomorrow, so I might go to like one tomorrow.
Okay, sure. That makes sense. Yeah, I will not. I don't have time. Tomorrow we're going to be doing the stream, so I'll probably my nearest local is 45 minutes away, and I don't want to have to fist fight my locals in line to try to get in. So I'm a pass on that probably, but
Yeah,
maybe I'll show up just to get the packs and dip.
yeah, if I have one like in the during the day or something, they're also going to the 12th. So like even if we don't get in this weekend, some local near me will be running it during the weekdays, and I'll figure that out and try to get one in. But we are going to be, speaking of those, we are going to be covering just to kind of add on. If you guys watched, we just dropped a video talking about the pre-rift event, kind of explaining and breaking down, what these different pre-rift packs are and what the sealed format's like. And so there's actually this neat little website called Rifty. I'm not really sure who made this website or anything, but I saw some other content creators using it. And this lets you do like simulated sealed pulls. So like we would just basically, as you can see here, there's different buttons. There's boosters, draft, sealed, and pre-rift. So we could just click on sealed and it'll give us 6 random Spirit Forge boosters and open them up for us. Or we can click pre-rift and it'll give us one of those 6 random champion packs plus the 5 packs. So we were just going to open a few pre-rift pulls here and kind of like go through some deck construction and show you guys like how we would be building these limited decks in the pre-rift environment, and see like what kind of crazy decks we end up ripping. So we're going to jump into that.
And this is going to be fun, guys, because I am a well-known limited
limited gamer.
phobe. I was going to say limited phobe. I don't know what the word for that is. What's the word for the fear of limited? Someone can figure it out. You can look it up. But
Sure.
I whatever the fear of limited is, I'm afraid of it.
He's scared. It's fine.
Yes, I'm scared. It's they need to make a magic card. What's the 13 Triskaidekaphobia? Is that the
yeah.
Yes, that's one of my favorite magic cards of all time. Triskaidekaphobia. They need one for the fear of limited.
So it looks like this pre-rift kit gave us the Kim Baroness pack. So we got Renata. That is just letting you know. I mean, we might do a couple more of these, but just so you all know, chat, I would not be happy to pull Renata. I guess I do think Order is pretty strong. So there's a potential that Renata might be good if we pull like enough. But I just think Renata's Legend is a little rough. Like, I would rather be playing Order and, like, anything else. Like, if I pulled Fiora, like, Order Body is a really strong combo. I guess we'll take a look and see what we get. So, we're just going to scroll down through our packs here. I mean, as you guys can see, we basically pulled, like, in case, I don't know how many of you guys have played Limited before, so I guess I'll just kind of break down some fundamentals from the start. Usually one of the easiest things that you can do when you're like trying to construct a limited deck is take all of your colors, like take all of your cards and separate them out by color. Like this is one of the first things I do if I'm playing Magic Limited. I'm setting each different pile into a different color. In official Magic events, they actually make you register your pool that way. So like it's good to do that anyway, but that's what I do because it just works easier for my brain to like put everything out there. And as you guys can see, we've only pulled literally 3 cards in Fury, like literally 3. So that's really crazy. Obviously, if you only pulled 3 cards of a certain color, you already know you're not playing that color. Like right off the bat, you only got 3 cards in that color. Why would you like, unless one of these cards was like an absolute bomb, like you got the Draven Chosen Champion maybe, and you wanted to like use that as your 3rd color just so that you could play the Draven Chosen Champion. Maybe, but yeah, I mean, these 3 red cards obviously are not very good. Like your best card is probably this Sudden Storm card, and it's not even that good of a card. So yeah, I would look at this pull and immediately be writing off red right away. You're not going to play red. We only got like 4 green cards as well. So again, it looks like Calm is pretty much off the table. I'm not sure if it puts our rares somewhere else. I don't think so though, no. We pulled 3 Renatas? That's crazy. So yeah, green again, we've only got like 4 Calm cards. Calm is off the table, guaranteed. We've got Infinite Mind, which is really good if we're going to be playing Renata. We've even got like a Premonition. That's really good. We can actually take advantage of Renata's gold. One of the things that I think is like really weird when building Renata in Limited is like we don't have all these time warps and all these crazy payoffs, right? So like, what are we doing with all this gold? If we get a bunch of gold, like, what are we doing with it? What's the payoff for holding and using this legend to get gold? Well, Premonition is one of those. Like, Premonition's an excellent card. Draw 3, especially in limited, is pretty crazy. Um, and Ornn is also another one. Like, Ornn is actually really crazy in Renata because, every gold you make is a gear. So this guy can actually get really big if you can hold for long enough. And he's also a chosen champion. So, like, if you didn't want to play the Renata chosen champ, which we pulled 3 of again, you could just use Ornn as your chosen champion. And Ornn is a really strong chosen champion, especially if we have lots of ways to make gold. I'm not sure how much we're going to have between our other colors since we haven't looked at the rest of the pool yet, but those are some pretty cool payouts for Renata for sure.
We had some questions in the chat here.
Yeah.
What's your color tier list for this limited order? Well, do we have a video for you? We actually, Anton just did a full hour and a half long pre-release primer video that you can check out on the channel, but I'm sure he can answer you here too.
Yes, I actually did not do like a color tier list. Like I did a tier list for every common, uncommon, and rare for each color, but I didn't actually like rank the different colors. But if I was to do that on site here, I would say Order is first. I do think Order has the best pool overall. I think cards like Vanguard Armory are absurd, and they're going to be really hard to answer in this format. So like, if you could just kind of dirtle, because some of these decks are just going to be really clunky, and so you're going to be able to dirtle in limited because like you're not really like going like like you might play some Curve Stone in limited sometimes, but more often than not your decks are kind of clunky, so you're going to have a little bit more time to do things, and a card that can just summon 3 bodies every single turn can really run away with the game, especially if you pull it in multiples, and it's only an uncommon. Drag First is also just like a crazy, or Drag Under is a crazy card. Like you just have like removal.
All right. So without, I'm gonna play a little game with you here. I want to do some guesses.
Sure.
Without truly, I haven't watched like the whole ranking video. Yeah, I know I haven't watched our own content that sounds bad, but without watching it, and without knowing anything about limited, would the best card in the set be Ferris Forerunner?
I argued with Colin a little bit about this, and maybe Cody was there too when we were in Houston, or not Houston. Yeah, when we were just in Houston. I originally put Ferris Forerunner as the best rare in Fury, and I do think it's probably the best card, but I do think we ended up ranking Draven higher, the chosen champ Draven, just because it's a chosen champion. If Ferris Forerunner could be guaranteed opener in my hand every game, I think that card is definitely the best card in the set. But we did rank Draven above him simply because pulling that guarantees that you always have a busted turn 2 play every single game.
And Chad, I want to be clear. I did not participate in this discussion. I was not at Houston. I have not put any effort into determining how to play this set for limited. I'm just using my knowledge of limited as a whole, and I'm like sitting here while Anton's talking. I'm going, what do I think the best card in the set is? And the first one that pops in my mind, I'm like, it has to be Ferris Forerunner, right?
Yeah.
Like, this guy makes 12 points of stats for 6. That's better than almost every he makes more stats than the Butthole Dragon. Like, he's literally more stats than the Mountain Drake. And that is a fucking 10-drop or 9-drop vanilla. So
true.
But yes.
It was very close. And topic. I think in raw power, just raw power, Forerunner is a better card. But I think if I'm like doing a draft and it's pack 1, pick 1, and I have to pick between the two, just because I'm guaranteed to play this guy in my champ zone every single game, I would probably take the Draven. But Forerunner is insane. It's such an insane card for sure.
So, do you think the format is slow, or will be fast?
I think it'll be a little bit. I think you would expect it to be a little bit slower than typical, but you are only playing a 25 card deck, so just keep that in mind. Well, okay. It was originally only 25, and some people did call us out in the video for this. Originally, the original sealed rules were 25, period. They did make it 25 minimum now, so you can actually play more than 25. So, like, if for whatever reason you pulled a bunch of premonitions and you were worried you're going to deck yourself out and give your opponent free points, I guess you could play more cards. Typically, as card gamers, competitive card gamers typically try to keep it as low of a deck count as you can, because that's just max consistency. Like, would I rather play the 26th card that's pretty good too, or would I rather just draw my 25 best cards? I'd rather just draw my 25 best cards. So
always the 25 best.
Yeah.
Unless you pull 26 Ferris Forerunners.
Yeah, maybe you consider it
playing 26.
For sure.
You skip the first 2 turns. You're like, Ferris Forerunner, Ferris Forerunner, Ferris Forerunner. Okay, man, you got it. Like,
the ideal number of 2, 4, 6. I don't know that it's necessarily like I think for 2s, I think your ideal number is somewhere between 5 and 6. That's like basically guaranteeing you that it's like someone in our YouTube did the math in the comments, and it was like an 85% or something with like 5 of them. Because again, if you're a 25 card deck and 5 of your 20% of your deck is 2-drops and you're mulling 2, like, you're gonna see them. For 4s, yeah, again, I really don't know. Like, if say I have a 4 in my chosen champ zone, I may not play as many cards in the 4 cost slot, right? Like, if I got that Draven, like I said, well, that's my 4. Like, that's my guarantee. Every game I'm probably playing this guy on 4. So, like, yes, you could still play some more 4s, especially if they're like powerful ones. Like if I got multiple copies of Dravens, but I would say probably somewhere between like 3 to 4 in the 4 zone, and then 6 plus. Like that really just depends on how good they are and what your deck is doing. So I really can't say that it would be so clear cut as to say like, oh, well, it's a guaranteed this many 2s, this many 4s, this many 6. Like even in constructed Riftbound, we don't have that. Outside of the 2-drops, like we don't have a guaranteed like this is how much top end you need to play and this is how much mid game you need to play. All the decks are very different, and it's very dependent on how you're building. Like you just need to find your win condition first, and then you can kind of decide. Though I do think that obviously 2-drops are very important. Like you need to have some ways to score right away. So I would say 5 to 6 2s is the sweet spot. So anyway, looking back at the pool, the blue pool is looking good. Cloth armor. You guys remember that I put this as one of the best commons in blue. This card doesn't cost you power. Great card. We got a Plundering Poro. This comes in her pack, I believe. So yeah, we always get this. But yeah, great 2-drop. Wages of Pain always comes in there. Great card. These drop borders, depending on how much more gear we have, like we already got these cloth armors and we're making gold off of Renata, plus like the Poro, the wages. So like these guys can come in, and 4 for 4 is just like a solid vanilla if you just need a 4-drop. So coming down into orange, it looks like we only got 1 punch first and not really much else. Like got a Kato the Arm. We don't care about this guy. Petricide Monument, Alex and Colin's favorite card. This Jawfish. Like, yeah, all these orange cards are honestly kind of butt. Like, yes, Punch First is great, but that's literally like the only playable here. I mean, you got a 2-drop too, but it's like, it's not even the good 2-drop. Like, the best 2-drop in orange is Sea Monkey, not Veteran Poro. So you would much rather have seen Sea Monkey. We see 0 Sea Monkey. So I'm kind of writing off orange as soon as I see it like this. Like Punch First is good again, but nothing else here is pulling me into orange. Purple is even, we just don't have a lot of purple cards, and all there is like we got a Called Shot, we got an Aurelia, not too much else here. Order's looking nice though. We didn't get.
Shit, we pulled 3 of these. Oh my god! Isn't this card like this card's got to be nice, right?
Which one are you talking about?
The 5-drop.
Yeah, the 5-drop's crazy in limited for sure. This chick is a 5 for 6 that kills a 3 or less. Like in limited, like in constructed, yes, this card is probably not seeing much play. Though I think in some of the early builds, like in China, we started seeing this in like sideboards of like Victor and some other order decks, but it kind of fell off. But this card in limited is absurd. Like your opponent has to play a certain amount of 2-drops. This thing will always kill a 2-drop. Sometimes it's going to kill a 3-drop or even a 4-drop if it's like something like a herder, a 4 for 3 or something. And it gives you a 6 might body. Like this card is everything you want in your top end. And in this set too, like unlike in Origins, Origins had like a lot of 7 drops, 8 drops, 9 drops, even 12 drops. In this set, like our mana curve literally caps out at 8. Like the biggest thing in the whole set costs 8. So you really don't worry about like going giga deep into your ruins anyway. So like if I'm just sitting on 5 and I'm just consistently going, here's a 6, here's a 6, here's a 6, and removing a card from their board every time I'm doing that, like that's really insane in limited. The Royal Guard's also a good one. I believe this was in our top 3 commons as well. Again, this is a good 4. It gives you 2 2s instead of an actual 4 might, but 2 bodies is really good. You can score 2 points off of a single card. So, and it also gives you tokens. So like if we do end up playing Renata and we want to use the Industrialist, your tokens into ready, so you get a little bit of synergy there. We got the Mixologist. This is a solid card too, a 5 for 5 that like pops and makes another creature. It's just really strong. Rally the Troops. I don't know that this is a Rally the Troops deck. Like maybe 2 Royal Guards is really the only like way we have to build to spawn more tokens. Our other options that we got for Legends are Ornn. I don't think we're going to be Ornn. We already saw like our blue pool was nice, but our green pool was really, really weak. We do have like 2 Doran shields, but yeah, probably not playing Ornn and Lucian. Again, our red pool was literally 3 red cards, and our orange pool, everything sucked except Punch First. So yeah, I don't think we're going to be playing Lucian either. So in this case, if this was my pool, I'm pretty much locked into Renata. So I would play my Renata, grab her. Let's see, what are my 3 battlefield options? We've got Alex's favorite right here, the Rockfall Path. We got 2 Rockfall Paths. In this format, you can actually play multiples of the same battlefield. So we could go double Rockfall Path if we wanted to.
You could also go 0-2 drop if you wanted to.
True. So Hall of Legends doesn't really do anything for Renata because while she does exhaust to make a gold, you don't get to hold later on in the turn, you know? So like it's not like that's resetting your gold making or anything. So Hall of Legends isn't really doing anything for us. The Sunken Temple, maybe this is a potential. Like it really depends on how many mighty units we have, but again, we've got 3 Sand Shifters. We've got the Mixologist here. Like those are all mighty units. So even if we really wanted to, we even have access to this guy who kind of sucks, but he is a mighty unit. So like we could potentially get value out of the temple here.
Someone asked a pretty good question in the chat, and wouldn't you just auto go 3 colors?
Wouldn't I just auto go 3 colors? Yeah. Well, you go 3 colors no matter what. Or you're saying the only way that I can pick any 3 colors I want is if I choose not to play with a legend. So I could opt out of playing with a legend. I could still have a chosen champion of my choice. And then I could play any 3 colors I want. If I want access to a legend, then I can only use the 2 colors that I get from the legend, and then I can pick a 3rd color from any of the other colors available. So if I was to pick Renata because say I wanted to use her ability, then I need to play blue yellow, but then I can pick for my 3rd color to be whatever I want. Not sure if that answers your question, Hidoi. But
someone asked, how often do you consider no legend for the extra card?
I guess it would kind of depend on like how powerful the legend is. Like Renata again is honestly like not a super powerful legend, so I could see an argument for just opting out of playing Renata. But again, remember that this one pack that you get is seeded for these 2 colors, the one that comes with Renata, and it's going to come with the battlefield and come with like 12 cards in the pack that are like just matching those 2 colors. So you are naturally going to have a better pool of those 2 colors just because they're seeding one of your packs. So even if you opt out of playing the legend, like you're going to be in those 2 colors more than likely anyway. Any world where I would just go 2 colors? No, I mean, I don't think there's any reason to limit yourself. Like, I guess the only world in which I would go 2 colors only is if literally my 25 best cards are in those two colors, and there's absolutely no reason for me to branch out. Like if there was nothing in the whole pack, like let's just say for instance that all my playables were in yellow and were in blue, and that's it, then I might consider going into orange just for this punch first and like pretty much nothing else. But punch first is such a strong card, and it since I get a third color, like if nothing else was more playable than this, I would still go the third color just for the punch first, because I guarantee you that out of my blue and yellow pool, like one of these 25 cards that I would find in blue and yellow is nowhere near as good as punch first. So I think you're always probably going to go into three colors no matter what.
McQueen is asking, would you count Doran's Blade or any other cheap equipment as a 2-drop?
Yeah, you could count some equipments as 2s, but it would depend. Like if you have a lot of weapon masters in like the 3 and 4 costs, then sure, those can just be 2-drops, and you don't need to worry about playing actual 2-drops. But if you have like a lot of weapons and a lot of like 2s that you want to play, then you'd probably still want to consider some of them not 2-drops and just consider them more as spells. And here I didn't get any Doran's Blade, which is the better one for sure. Like Hex Drinker is 2 for just a +1, and like Deflect can be pretty good and constructed, but in limited, it's not like your opponent is fiending for having any kind of interaction whatsoever. So like the odds that they're actually going to be able to target your stuff like more than once or twice a game is pretty low. So this is like not a great investment. So yeah, I think right off the bat, if I'm playing yellow, I'm playing my Honest Broker for sure. Again, we want 2-drops. I'm playing my Plundering Portal. These both make gold. Let's just say I'm not committed to Renata yet, but I'm committed to blue-yellow. I'm pretty sure. Like again, my red pool's bad, my green pool's bad, my orange pool's bad, my purple pool's very small. So I think we're like locked in for yellow for sure. So Honest Broker and Plundering Portal making it in. I'm probably playing both of these Royal Guards. I'm probably playing at least 2, maybe even 3 of the Sand Shifter. Let's see. I'm to be playing this Premonition because that card's crazy. Playing Wages of Pain. Again, we're fiending for removal or like any kind of interaction here. I'm probably playing Cloth Armor, at least 1, maybe 2. And then if I'm playing these Cloth Armors now and I have all this gold generation, then now I'm definitely more incentivized to play a Drop Porter. I maybe could be convinced to play Pickpocket too. Let's go back to yellow though real quick and see. This guy's just kind of butt. I guess we did get a lot of 2-drops in these dogs, so I guess we could play some of these dogs. And they do get +1 even on the defense, which is kind of nice for Renata, because like if you're trying to trigger your Renata, you want to hold. So like if you can like stack a bunch of dogs in one battlefield, they both become 3s. But again, you just have like this Sand Shifter is going to be able to hold forever because this chick's just massive. Like, and she's removing a unit off their board. So I think you'll actually be surprised at how much you'll be able to hold with this deck. I guess we'll take 2 of the doggos. The Mixologist is crazy for sure. What am I wanting as my chosen champ here? We're at 16 out of 25 right now. If I could go blue Ornn, but again, I've got 1, 2. Those both make a gear. I've got the Wages of Pain that makes a gear, and then I've got 2 gears itself. That's only 5 gears. So like Ornn is not getting a ton of value. If I play the Pickpocket, he can make a gold. That's like 6 gears. I could play these Chemtech Casks, but I just feel like this card is not what you want to be doing in limited. Like you have to play a spell on your opponent's turn. I just don't think that you're going to be able to do that often, especially like with these pools. Like we have Blood Money ×1 and Wages of Pain ×1. Maybe Premonition, we can like fire that off on the opponent's turn because it's reaction speed. But yeah, you don't really have a lot of ways to.
This has to be bugged, right? How do we pull 3 of the same rare? Like, what are the
I mean
odds of
that.
that
Well, one
actually?
of those comes in your seeded pack guaranteed. So we pulled 2 in the 5 packs,
Okay,
and then we get 1
okay,
guaranteed from the
two of the
pack.
same rare.
Yeah,
Two
yeah,
of the
yeah.
same rare. That still seems a little steep to me,
Yeah, I
but
mean, sometimes you pull crap, man. I don't know what to tell you. Um, yeah, I'm really struggling to honestly see what our third color is. Honestly, chat, it might just be the punch first. Like, we literally just go into orange for a single card. Because, like, the rest of this is not good.
I mean the dragon's big.
Yeah, the dragon is big, though. It's not going to enter ready, like, pretty much ever.
Unless you have both the dragons, you curve one and then the next.
Yeah, you could play the mini Dead Bloom, too. Like, that card is probably somewhat playable in limited, but...
Someone asked, "How are you think?" Oh god. Yeah. How are you thinking about a win con in limited?
Uh, yeah. So I'm just trying to visualize like how is my deck winning the game, like in the early game, the middle game, and the late game. So in Riftbound in particular, like you're always basically playing mid range, so you can't really just like visualize inevitability. You kind of have to visualize a tempo based win. So like I'm playing my 2-drop, I'm playing my 4-drop, I'm playing my 6, right? Or as trying to do that as well as I can. And then it also just depends on your legend. Like in Renata, like I said, you have gold. So Renata does come with this battlefield. You can pay 4 power to like score 1. So that's a good win con out of like that one game. But you do have to play 3 battlefields. So like the rest of our battlefields really do suck. Again, in limited though, you don't have to play the battlefields you're given. You can just choose to play blank battlefields. You can literally use any card you want. It just goes face down, and it's a blank battlefield. It doesn't have an effect for either player. So if for whatever reason you either think that the battlefields that you pulled would be more advantageous for your opponents than you, or that they're just like completely negative for you and for your opponent, but like you don't want anything negative happening to you, then you could just opt to say, you know what, I'm just going to play with all 3 blanks, or 2 blanks or 1 blank. 2 rares per pack. So yes, it is more likely by a little bit. Yes, it is 2 rares in a pack. And then your epic will replace your rare. So I think I would probably finish this off with, let's see. I probably am playing the
I think they
pickpocket
did
here.
confirm.
What's up?
Didn't they confirm that in set 2 they still have the rarity issue? Like, remember how they were replacing rare packs? I think they did confirm that they still have that issue in set 2. So you could just get you could get hoed viciously on your draft.
Yeah.
But on the upside, Riot will owe you a rare, so that's very cool.
True.
You'll lose your sealed, but at least you'll get a free rare for your troubles. We're gonna get Alex's take on State of the Game post by Riot. We already did it.
Yeah, we did that earlier. It was early in the chat.
Yeah.
Or earlier in the stream. Yep. But it is there if you want to go watch it. Like if you rewind.
Someone said my LGS is best of 1. Would that change much?
Not much. I mean, it just basically the only thing that's going to change is your battlefields. Like you're only going to play 1 of 3 random ones. So again, if you feel like your deck is strong enough without needing a specific battlefield, then you could play it. You could also just like say I was in this Renata deck and I knew I was best of 1, then I could play like the Power Nexus as my 1 battlefield and then have the other 2 be blank. So like every now and then I flip the Power Nexus and I'm like, oh cool, an actual battlefield I can use, and the other 2 are just like, okay, well, nobody gets to use these. These are just for scoring points. But it shouldn't change really too much. The simulator is called Rifty.
Yep.
Yeah, so okay, I'm at 19 cards. Let's lock this in and move on to one more pool before we close the stream tonight. So I think I would actually, like I said, I think I actually am going to do the punch first. Like I'm actually literally just going into orange for a copy of punch first. Let's see. Because, yeah, I don't really, like, this bubble bot isn't doing anything for me. These cards are pretty terrible. I could, I guess, play the experimental hexblade if I really wanted to make something a mech, but that's pretty bad too. I could play the rally the troops. I mean, this card like at least draws a card. I don't know if I actually have
Rally the troops makes sense.
yeah, I don't know that I actually have like a chosen champ that I want to play. I might just end up using Ornn as the chosen champ instead of the Renata, so that I could like always have Ornn over there. And so if when I start making all this gold, then eventually my Ornn comes down, and that guy, and every turn that he's holding, Renata is making another gold. So he's slowly, incrementally getting bigger. Not gonna be getting as big as say some of the Ornns that we've seen in these other things. I definitely would have loved to have pulled like a God, what's that card called? World Atlas or whatever, the one that like makes 2 gold every turn you hold or whatever. Would have loved to have seen one of those in this pack. Like, I honestly think our pool is like not bad, but not great. It's just like okay. Like I said, Renata's one of the, even though Order is very good, Renata is one of the weaker packs to pull. Even though she comes with a few good cards, like not getting any drag unders, like that's only an uncommon. Not getting any Vanguard armories, that's rough. By the way, chat, if you do get to live the dream, you can actually like in this set, if you pull a bunch of Vanguard armories and then you get like the Jace rare, you can actually put the Jace rare as your chosen champ, so that you just always have that guy on 2. So then you just try to cheat your Vanguard armories in guaranteed every time on turn 2. That's pretty busted if you can pull that off. Unfortunately, we got no Jace rare either, so I think I'd probably be playing this Blood Money for a little bit more interaction. And what, 3 more cards? Yeah, we'll probably just play like, oh, this Laurent Duelist is hideous, but I'll probably play this guy. And we would definitely be playing the Power Nexus. I don't know that I would want to play any of these other ones. Maybe the Sunken Temple, but I do kind of feel like other people might be able to take advantage of that a little bit more than we do. We do have a decent amount of big boys. Maybe I would play the Sunken Temple, and then I'd probably not play Rockfall Path or... Oh, maybe... No, Forgotten Monument? Maybe Forgotten Monument.
There's no fucking way.
What?
Wait, Forgotten Monument is the orange card, right? Is that the one?
No. That's the one that you can't score for 3 turns. The battlefield where you can't score for 3 turns.
What's the one? What's the orange card that's the literal?
Yeah, that's the Petricide Monument. It is a monument as well. Yeah, it is a monument.
Okay. I was about to say there's 0 chance.
You're like, no, please.
No Blood Money?
No, I did add the Blood Money in.
Okay.
Honestly, this is now getting a little tough.
We're not putting another 2 in?
We have what? We have the Honest Broker, we've got the
4.
Poro, we've got 4 right
5.
now. We do have 5?
We got 5. Yeah, that's 2. Oh no, Frost Cup. Yeah, we have 4.
No, yeah. Yeah, I think we just add the Doggo, and then we can close this off with either one more orange card. I was trying to look in the orange and see if maybe there's something else I want. But honestly, not really. Maybe just take we could take like one of these hidden cards, but all it does is make a 2. Like, it's not super great, but you can also pay in order to ready it. Like it's an okay combat trick. Sure. I guess we would play one copy of Guards, or we could play a Renata just for like the token synergies, but yeah, I think I'd rather play the interaction spell. And yeah, that would be our, let's see, can I like, I don't know if it, oh, here's our deck. Yeah, this deck, it's okay. I think you could win games with this deck for sure. I do think that pulling the Ornn was a nice pickup. I just wish we had a little bit more ways to make gold. But I do think that this deck could definitely win some games, especially the triple Sand Shifter. I'm convinced this card is the truth in limited, chat. Like, But yeah, no Vanguard Armories makes me sad for sure, and no Drag Under. Would have loved some Drag Under. All right, let's go back to goodies simulator.
Wait.
Whoa.
Can we do commercial break? Can we do commercial break real quick?
Sure, Alex, take
I
us
gotta
away.
show. All right. So you love what you've seen here tonight, but you're wondering how do I get more? Because I mean, we sleep. We're not always live. Well, have you checked out the Challenger TCG MetaFi? For just the low price of starting at $10 a month, you get access to our full Discord, our entire team. Yep, all of them, even the members you've probably never heard of, kind of like Pete Best. If you don't know who Pete Best is, you can look him up. You get access to all of our members. We're in there constantly chatting, decks. You've got Anton here for limited advice. You've got anybody but me for limited advice. We're always in there chatting constantly. We've got every deck channel is popping except Leeson. I don't know why, but nobody wants to play Leeson. We actually got our first Leeson post yesterday, so sorry for you Leeson players, but it ain't going off like that.
Even though we have Jeff Jones literally in there, by the way, we have the best of Leeson in our Discord, and no one's posted in there.
Yep, nobody posts in there ever. So if you're looking for Leeson, we can still help you, but nobody's talking about Leeson. But all our other deck chats popping off. At $20 a month, you get access to all of our deck lists, and that means everything. Like, we're updating things live constantly. Anything in real time. You get to see all the butthole changes we make to our decks. You get to see all the butthole decks that we make should we decide to post them. Some of them get thrown together for one game and deleted, and we never want you to see it because it's so abysmal. We don't want you to believe that you're paying money for someone who would make a deck so horrible. And at $50 a month, you get yourself access to all of the Challenger DCG Discord. That's the deck list. That's the Discord. You get access to the VOD review channel, which is every Tuesday at 8:00 p.m. EST. We review a VOD submitted by you, the community, and you get that no extra charge as part of your Diamond service. But if that wasn't enough, we also have a diverse palette now. I use the word diverse. A diverse palette of guides now. We have 5 separate guides now on our MetaFi. And you get a discount on all of those starting at entry level, 33% at silver, 50% at gold. And as long as you're a diamond sub, you get all access to all of those guides for free. We just added our new guide. Can we pull that up here, Jamie, please?
Actually, Nightbot literally just did drop it. As I don't know if Nightbot heard you somehow, but yeah.
Yes, the Rek'Sai guide just went up. It's already popping off. Anton will pull. Thank you, Anton. Oh, yeah. Firefox. Why don't you don't use Internet Explorer? Tisk.
No, dude, I don't.
But yes, we've got. So there we go. There's the Rek'Sai guide. Rek'Sai the Dark Horse is what we're calling it. I wanted to call it Rek'Sai the best butthole legend in all of set 2, but that didn't fit on the graphics, so we went with the Dark Horse per suggestion of our editor. But I mean, this thing is chock full. Just click on that for me real quick, Anton. See what they give them a. You have to go down. You can't click on the featured sec. You have to click. Yep, you have to click there. Yep. So look at that. It's about 13,000 words. I mean, I've got everything in depth in there. I'm adding more too. I'm going to add the Ezreal matchup in there. I'm going to add the Fiora matchup in there. I'm going to add more sideboard options. I'm going to update the deck as we go along. So this has just got everything. If you guys haven't seen it yet, Rek'Sai, the king of the butthole decks, the greatest deck to win a meta leader with. Absolutely love him. But yes, check out our MetaFi. Crazy deals we're running right now. I mean, and we are proud to be the biggest Discord community. The biggest MetaFi Discord community in all of Riftbound. So we currently have like 310 members, I think, in our Discord. Might be a little more now. I think it's like 315. The number keeps
growing every day.
Literally
every day we grow.
Growing every day. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Unlike my tiny PP, which has not grown in 20 years. So
yeah, it stops after some point, buddy.
yeah. Actually, I think it's getting smaller. Unlike our Discord, which is always getting larger. So there's my sales pitch for tonight. Let's get back to our second sealed pool.
Yep. And Alex worked really hard on this for you guys because Alex, just so you all know, does not like to write. He is not
I
a fan
don't.
of
I
the
do not like
writing
to write.
process, but he cranked
No,
this one out for
I
y'all,
hate writing.
and people are loving it so far. So
Yes, yes. We've already, in under 24 hours, I believe we've already sold over 50
yeah,
copies of
at
this.
least 50
It's gotten
copies
great
gone out so
reviews.
far.
I was cranking like crazy, and once I was done cranking, I wrote the guide. So there you go, guys. That's for you.
All right, one more pool. Let's see what we get this time. Chat pre-rift again. We got Ezreal this time. Okay, so that's a little bit better. That's a little bit better than Renata in my opinion. Let's see if our pool is actually worth it though. We got triple frigid touch. Okay, I'm seeing Ezreal and I see triple frigid touch. I like that. I like where that's starting so far. We got double wages of pain. We got double rocket barrage. We got, holy crap, we got 5 of this cub. 5 doggos. That is so many doggos. We got this terrible bard. We're not stoked about that as one of our rares, unfortunately. Double punch first. Already could be going into orange just because I want 2 punch first and maybe a Triforce, honestly. Even Doran's Blade. Very good card. Let's see what we got in our purple. We ended up getting 2 cult shots. Oh, we got rare Draven. That's pretty nice too. We got the Overzealous Fan. That's a good one. We got a Switcheroo. That card's broken. We got more doggos. We got Loyal Pups. We could just be dog tribal. We have 7 dogs in our colors. Let's see what our legends. Wait. We only literally pulled 1 legend. So if we wanted to now see, this is what I wanted last pack, chat. Like obviously the rest of the yellow is not there, but Vanguard Armory, this guy got 2 Trove Golems. This guy's a freaking 8 for 9. Nothing beats this in the format. 9 might? Like everything in this format is so small. This guy's ginormous. But yeah. I mean our pool's like, it's okay. Switcheroo good, Beast Below good, Draven's good, the fan is pretty good. Called Shot can be good. And in blue, I mean, we could, if we were playing Ezreal, we could play our chosen champ, or we could just opt out of playing him if we just wanted to draw an extra card, but okay, so right away, I mean, green, what do we get out? If we went green, we have access to like Janna, which is pretty nice. And Janna out of the chosen champ is actually kind of crazy too. We could even play an Azir if we wanted out of our chosen champ. Orin is not an option really. We got a lot of green rares, but they're all kind of like situational, except for Janna. Janna's just good, just a fight or flight on a body, and like 2 Navori scouts. That's a nice one too.
I don't want to break up this broadcast, but I have to stop this to say Mike Vrabel has just won Coach of the Year. Huge ups for any of you Patriots fans out there. Mike Vrabel was just announced Coach of the Year. All right, we return to our regularly scheduled program.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think I'm probably still leaning into Ezreal, and I think I would play the Ezreal, especially with that many frigid touches to like trigger him. Like drawing 1 extra card at the start of the game versus drawing an extra card every single time I double up on these frigid touches. I think that sounds pretty good to me. I would definitely play the Poro. Again, we're trying to find 2 drops in our colors, so we're playing the Poro. We're playing the Overzealous Fan. We don't really have a lot of other 2 drops though. So we're going to have to find 2 drops in other colors, or we're just going to have to like, I mean, honestly, there's not really a lot of 2 drops in our other colors unless we want to go into red. So that's like, Gym Jammer is a good 2 drop, but we would literally just like not, like going into red is so bad. Like we would get nothing else out of red but 2 drops. If we went into green, we do get access to Apprentice Smith. It's like, it's okay. Maybe orange. I mean, we get the Doran's Blades, and those are kind of like 2 drops. Plus, we get access to double punch first. Kind of leaning towards the orange as the 3rd color here. Oh, by the way, thanks OTB Dave for subscribing with the Prime. We did not show our Twitch Prime today. If you guys have Amazon
shit. Yeah,
Prime,
gotcha, man.
go ahead and head over to our Twitch
Fuck that
Prime
up.
and drop an Amazon Prime sub on us. We would really appreciate it, and it helps us, continue to run these streams and makes it worth it for us to continue to make content for you guys. So hit us with
That's the
that
one thing I
Amazon
forgot to
Prime.
show.
That's okay. That's okay. Yellow is also pretty tempting just because these Trove Golems are fucking huge. Plus, you get a Vanguard Armory. We also would get 2-drops in the Honest Broker and the Unsung Hero. We can't ever really trigger the Unsung Hero though, but it is at least a 2-drop in that color. So we would gain access to 2 more 2-drops plus busted cards like Vanguard Armory and Trove Golem. Even Zen Zhao is like a pretty solid card. But if we do lock in on Ezreal, we have to play. Yeah, see, the thing that kind of sucks about, maybe we are not locking on Ezreal here because having to commit to purple for us is actually kind of bad. Even though we do have, okay, let's see. We have Draven and Switcheroo. We have Beast Below. Oh wait, Windsinger's a 2-drop. I'm just stupid. Okay, we have one more 2-drop.
It's a fake. It's a fake 2-drop.
Yeah, it's a fake 2-drop. True,
real,
but it is a
it's
2-drop.
A fake 2-drop.
I think I would play the Fae Porter for sure. Well, maybe not for sure. Let's see. Is there any more blue cards I would for sure play? I'd play this Rocket Barrage. Definitely playing the Wages. Probably double Rocket Barrage. I mean, if I'm playing Ezreal, what else would I play as my chosen champ? If I was to go into yellow, none of these are very good. If I was to go into purple, I guess I could play this Draven as my chosen champ. Maybe that's not bad. Guaranteed turn 3 play. But then this is where you would want to have more 4-drops and stuff.
It's Trinity Force. I feel like that card's got to be decent, right?
Yeah, Triforce got to be good for sure. I mean, I'm pretty tempted to go like into orange because you get double punch first, you get double
punch first seems crazy.
Yeah. Okay, punch first, and then we take
the camel's not very good,
too.
I assume, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's gonna do much for you in limited. Like, you're not really worried about that stuff. Okay, so if we are in blue, purple, orange, then we are playing the Fae Porter. Probably play one of Cult Shot. Temptation might be pretty good, especially since we're Ezreal.
I like Temptation.
Yeah, especially since you're Ezreal, you get to draw a card off of it. We could play the Ezreal. I think that card's really insane and limited too. Probably play some amount of the Cub because it's another card that targets. Otherwise, it's just like a 3 for 3. But the Doggo's not bad. This Doggo, I don't think so though. I don't think we're playing that Doggo. Battlefields too, we could play Treasure Hoard. We could play, I think we would play the Raven Bloom. We got a lot of spells in this deck. That makes sense to me. Probably play this one that we can hold for an extra, and then probably play the Treasure Hoard. So we could actually use all three of our things. That's pretty good. And for this final card, I think it's between Pickpocket or Frostcoat. I don't think there's anything in here or in orange I would want. I guess maybe Yordle Explorer. I get to draw an extra card whenever I activate Switcheroo. I get to draw an extra card if I activate any of these 2 punch first. I get to draw a card if I play my Beast Below. And it's a 4 for 4. Yeah, I'll play the Yordle Explorer in this deck. This guy's actually pretty good. Just a 4 for 4. Every time you play a card with power cost 2 or more, you draw one. So yeah, he makes your punch first cantrip, your Switcheroo cantrips, like I said, your Beast Below cantrips, and he's just a 4 for 4. So like, even if you never trigger this, even if he only draws you like 1 card a game, like a 4 for 4 that draws you 1 card a game is pretty good. That's like almost Kaisa Survivor. So yeah, card's not bad at all.
Quick shout out, Benyu. Thank you for the Twitch Prime sub, Benyu. Big ups, my man.
Oh, awesome. Thanks so much, guys.
Appreciate that.
If you play 3 colors with the 4/4/4 ruins, or more like a 5/3/5/4/3, it would depend on which. So let's take a look here. I didn't put the ruins, so let's take a look here at what we've got. So we've got a single card with a power cost in blue, a single card with a power cost in purple. We've got this purple that's costing us double power. Called Shot, you're usually wanting to play this for double power. Switcheroo, double power. Punch First is double power. So our blue cost, the only thing that we ever have to pay blue power for is these Rocket Barrages and this Ezreal, and if we ever want to trigger the Frostcoat. So I would say in this case, like, I would probably be leaning more towards like a 5 purple. Yeah, I'd be going like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chaos. I'd probably be doing like 3 in the mind, and then I would do, because Dorans and Trinity Force also require, I would go like 5, 4, 3, I think. So yeah, something like that. Yeah, something like this. Like I said, we got a lot of double power costs in the chaos. And the body runes, really we just need them for Punch First, but also if we ever need to re-equip Dorans and Trinity Force, keep in mind you can do these things with gold though. So we do have Wages of Pain. So we do have ways. We do have the Plundering Poro. So we do have some ways to make gold. So like, you don't necessarily need to go super crazy on the orange, even if you are going to trigger these multiple times. So yeah, I think this deck actually looks pretty good. I wasn't sure if it was going to come together at the end, but I actually think this pile's pretty good. But yeah, if you guys want to try this out, chat. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, Ben, we already said you want to do minimum 25. There's pretty much no reason to be 26. Unless like a mill deck ever came around and became meta in sealed, but that doesn't exist right now. So for now, it's going to be 25.
Yep, for sure. And again, chat, if you guys ever want to try this out, go to Rifty and let me see. I think it's just rifty.app. And you go to the simulator area over in Goodies Simulator, and then you can choose between, you could do regular sealed, because like even after your pre-rift events, assuming hopefully that Daddy Riot has given us enough booster packs to actually continue to play sealed events, then regular sealed events will still be firing off. And regular sealed events, you won't have this sealed pack with the champion in it and all that stuff. It'll just go to regular 6 boosters, but you can also test out that on Rifty as well. So, and that's going to be it, I think, unless you had anything else, Alex. All right. Nope. Well, once again,
that's going to be all.
Check out the Metafy. Subscribe to us if you're not subscribing to us already on YouTube, on Twitch, and we will be back tomorrow for the China stream. Later, guys. Thanks for coming out.